Hello, this is Junior. Welcome each and every one of you for the first episode of Tuesdays with Modern Asian Mother. The reason why I created this is enough of the parenting tips. Give me just a bit. I just want to check whether I'm live. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, it's for you parents. Okay, there are so many tips out there for as to how to be better parents for the kids, but how about ourselves? So primarily I created this and I'll be sharing my this with you. That this is enough of the parenting tips. So hi, welcome to the first episode of okay, sorry, that's my son. Girls, can somebody take the boy and close the door for me? A little distraction there. That's what we get from working from home. Shut the door, please, completely. Thank you. Okay, welcome to the first episode of Modern Asian Mother. Today is Tuesdays with Modern Asian Mother. And the reason why I created this is because there are so many tips out there that focuses on parenting tips. But I wonder as a mom whether I'm the only one, and I'm sure I'm not, that there are many like you out there who go through our personal struggles. So every Tuesday is going to be a time just for you, mom, or even if you're not a mother, just for you ladies, because we all go through the same things, and this is a community where we can just build into each other's lives. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. I'm excited, even as I start this. Okay, so hi Limi. Hi, I know you by another name, Lei. I know you by another name, primary school friend I know. Hi, welcome and to join us. So Tuesdays with Modern Asian Mother is going to be a 30-minute segment where I cover different topics for the mom. So I would really appreciate if it was active so that you can type in your answers, and as I hear what you want, I will then be able to create content that suits exactly you. Okay, so this is who I am. I've got 5 amazing kids. I'm the author of The Naked Parent. So from 8 to 8:30, I created this session just for us because all mothers are always focused on the child and we rarely have time for ourselves. So for all the moms or ladies out there, set aside this 30 minutes just for yourself. You are not alone, and I want to connect with you. Every Tuesday, whether we tackle a challenge or we share real stories or tips, so mothers, we can be at our best. We go through things like we're stressed up, we know we're shouting too much, we're exhausted, we've got almost no friends. So join my weekly lives and comment on the topics that you want covered. In fact, it'll be great if you wave now and just share with me a few topics that you want covered. So this is for you moms or ladies. Share with me, Junior. I want to hear your perspective on this, okay? So my first question as I start this is, are you stressed out? Where initially I remember, like a fish in water, I never knew, how do I say this? There was one scene in Parental Guidance. I remember watching it once. So my question to you, mom, is, are you a happy mom? When you go home, we spend so much money on our home renovation. But what's the environment truly at home? Is it one where there's love and laughter and peace? Or is it a battlefield? Mine used to be a battlefield with 5 kids, and it has since transformed. But let me share with you this pivotal moment that made me realize that is what I want. So I'm so used to my shouting and my stressed up moments and like yelling at the kids, and it's normal, right? Until I watched this show on Parental Guidance, where this lady, it's in the morning scene, she has 3 kids. One of them is half naked, the other one doesn't want to eat the breakfast, so it's morning chaos. Hi, welcome, and thank you for joining. And what happens is the husband comes down from the stairs and he says, hi, do you have a minute? And to me, in my mind then, as a busy mom, I'm like, seriously? Do I have a minute? Can you look at the chaos of the 3 kids? But in that movie, she was like, of course, I have a few minutes for you. And as she began to sing, right, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So the husband and wife went out to talk. He actually got his project actually got identified for a potential award. And as they shared those like 30 seconds just out there talking, I got present. That's not something I have with me and my husband. In fact, I'm so focused on the kids. I'm so stressed out most of the time. It's survival mode. And that was the moment where I decided to create my heaven. And this is how it will look for me. So moms or even ladies or whoever's watching, parents, if now your kids were to look at you, dads even, because I see a few dads here. Hi, David. Hi, Damien. The test number 2 is, how would your kid describe you? If you just took your kid away from you and just ask, how is daddy like? How is mommy like? What would they say? Will they say, oh, my mom is a cool, chill mom? Or my dad is the best. He always has time for me. Or my mom is always busy with her work. My dad doesn't have time for me. My dad is always so fierce. My mom is always shouting. I don't want them to teach me for studies, And it doesn't matter their answer as of this point, because wherever we are, we can shift that. Okay? So I want to start with this. How conscious are we? So I shared the story about parental guidance, because often as a fish in water, it's as good as it can get, right? Like we are not present to our emotions until we see a picture of what is possible. So for me, I use MEP, 4 ways. I know I'm stressed when mentally there's no clarity. So earlier this morning, if I can be just very candid, I chunked out this time. But as I sat down, suddenly there's this to do and that to do and this to do. And I was so frustrated because there were so many things to do. I wasn't razor focused the way I normally am. And I know that when that happens, that's a sure sign that emotionally I need to de-stress. So the topic of today is, how do we de-stress? Now here, how do we actually first recognize that we are stressed? Okay. Second is where I mentally become very critical. So at breakfast this morning, when my helper just served me the bowl of noodles, immediately my mind went into, how come there's more white noodles than yellow noodles? And I knew, okay, if I'm being critical, that's an obvious sign that I'm not in a very good space. Second would always be our emotions. If I were to ask you now to just type in how you feel now, just to get present to how are you feeling? Are you relaxed? Are you chill? Are you impatient? Are you rushing? Are you happy? How do you feel? Because so often in life, we are human doings, right? We do and do and do, and we are not present. We are not conscious to how we actually feel. Thanks for the hugs and the waves. So how do you feel, as of now? Are you in negative, positive, The third one will be physically. What's your expression like? Would it be tense? Would you be frowning? That for me is a sure sign that I'm not in a good space. Would you be tired? Okay. And finally, sorry, that's one of my videos that automatically started. So let me go back now. Okay. What will you script right now? Okay, so for example, sorry, that's a video that I wanted to show. But so for example, if I find myself shouting, scolding, giving my kids a lot more commands, keeping to myself, lashing out. Hi, Vanessa, welcome. Or even saying no a lot more. That is a sure sign that I'm not in a good space, because I tend to be yes a lot. When I start to say no, or I start to get angry with them, those behaviors are obvious that I'm stressed. Okay. And why I share this is very often, and I'm going to do this with us, okay? How to de-stress, right? Can you imagine? The first step would literally be to be conscious. So for example, I look messy here now, I know. But assuming I didn't know, so I'm stressed up, I'm like that. And if I'm not present to it, it begins to be who I am. It begins to control me until and I begin to be very outward defending my position, right? I'll be like, no, you are the messy one. No, you are the angry one. No, you. And then I blame the kids. I blame my spouse. I blame my friends. I blame everyone around me, except the point where I take responsibility, where I actually look at myself in the mirror, is the first point when unconscious becomes conscious. Okay, so I'm going to be covering 5 techniques, where the first is acknowledge. So acknowledge is so critical, because we won't want to be the finger pointing person. when we are the ones with the cough, you know, instead of like, Junior, you're coughing. No, I'm not. You are. So when we catch ourselves first is where we can then stop it. The magic of 316. Memorize those numbers. Smile. And I actually took time to choose this picture. And I love smiling because it's one of the simplest and most it's inexpensive. Hi, Sumitro. Where we can actually just smile. And as we change our physiological, I'm going to show us later how the chemicals within our mind changes. Number 4 would be exercise, and finally connecting with a friend. So the first one, acknowledging. So these 3 sentences I always use. So to first identify what's the emotion I feel. So for example, I am feeling, so as of now, I am feeling excited, or I am feeling a bit nervous, okay? Because, hi, thank you for your hugs. Yeah. Why that is, so you will notice I'm looking at my phone at the same time, is because whenever we are stressed, we are often not conscious, and there's a siren that goes on, okay? It's called our amygdala, where it's a part of our limbic brain that basically is just reactive. So first is to acknowledge how I'm feeling, just to name, just to label the emotion. So how are you feeling today? I would love to see your comments. If you could just take time to acknowledge how you feel now. Just type in how you feel as of now. You know, are you, I don't know, emotion, chill? Are you relaxed? Are you comfortable? Are you stressed? Are you wondering what's going on? Are you curious? You know? Okay. And then the second would be, it's okay to feel this emotion. So very often in Asia, we are brought up and we are taught to hide, to suppress our negative emotions. We are told you can only show the positive emotions. You can be generous, kind, and all the positive traits, and the negative one, bury it. Don't show anger. If you are upset with someone, also control. No. Okay. So the second statement that I will always say is, first, I acknowledge, for example, that I am nervous. And it's okay to feel nervous. Welcome to being human. Isn't it amazing that different emotions give us information on how to react to certain things? So it's okay to feel that particular emotion. And I hope you're taking notes, okay? Because this really is helpful. I even teach this to my kids. And now they can actually manage their anger, their stress. And the third sentence would be, because I'm feeling, and then you fill in the blank with the emotion. So for example, because I'm feeling stressed, I am going to snap my fingers. You see, I think this is so beautiful. The first time I learned this technique, I was like, oh my goodness. In the past, when I was upset, number one, trying to hide it, right? And the more we push the beach ball under the water, the more it will burst out, right? So when I acknowledge it, you know what? I'm feeling upset. And it's okay to feel upset. And because I'm feeling upset, I actually reached the point where I am now at choice. I can choose my actions. Because I'm feeling upset, I would choose to go and drink coffee, you know, or I choose to dance. My action does not have to be correlated to my emotions at all. And no longer am I a puppet of my emotions, but I gain mastery over my emotions. Yeah. And why I wrote this picture, if you can see the 100 things that make me happy, is how many of you actually knows what makes you happy? So the first time I did this exercise with my daughter, it was just amazing, where she just began to write down. I asked her, she was in a very bad mood naturally. And I asked her, darling, why are you in such a bad mood? And she was like, I don't know. And she didn't want to say anything, and she didn't know. And I get that she's unconscious of her emotions. And as I began to draw it out of her, I was like, what makes you happy even? You know, because if you know what makes you happy, the next time you are in this state, I was telling my daughter, at least mommy is able to have some tools to bring you out of that. And she didn't know. And that was so perfect, because that was the start of her beginning to get present to what really makes her happy. So she began to write down, I like talking to my friends. I like listening to music. I like it when I'm writing or reading a book. And as she extended the list, that is what I would invite you to do. Are you present to what makes you happy? You know what? It could be a bowl of wonton mee. It could be just watching the sunset. You know, it could be just flipping through the papers. What is something that makes you happy? Spend some time identifying it after this video, okay? And then the second one, memorize these numbers, 316. Hi, Jojo. Because we all know deep breathing is good to calm, to slow our heart rate. But at the same time, I used to holding my breath, and then the emotions, I'm still enraged by them. So why 316? It counts the number of seconds we actually do three things. The first is we hold our breath for 3 seconds. So we go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and actually count and do it with me. The second one is you hold it in for just 1 second, okay? And the third one is where you exhale for 6 seconds. So let's try it together now. Let's inhale for 3 counts, hold it for 1 second, and count 6,000 before it comes out. Ready? Let's go. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Hold it there. And then 6,000, slowly breathe it out. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Why this is so significantly different from any other breathing methods is because of the numbers. When I focus my breath on counting 3, 1, and 6, it literally takes my mind off whatever made me upset initially, and literally does its work in calming me down. Hi Faith, welcome. I'm so glad that you're spending time to join us. This is just a session for moms, yeah? So thank you. And comment like what topics you would love me to create for parents out there. Like, what are your struggles, And this 316 is also how I fall asleep. So, there are some nights where the mind doesn't want to sleep or you're too excited. 316 is the magical number as you count 1,000. Inhale 3 counts, count 1,000, hold it there for 1 second, and then slowly breathe it out. And just slowly do it. And in less than 7 counts, you should be asleep into a very deep sleep, okay? Because that literally slows down your heart rate. Hi, Faith. Okay, so I'm going on to the third one. Like what we can do to de-stress. The third one is what is something that we all know is the cheapest form, is smile. And I want to ask, most often in Asia, we are like, smile for what? For no reason. Earlier I purposely picked this picture because so often when we are doing our work, we can be so engrossed, and then when someone calls us, smile for what? But as soon as we get in touch with our emotions, and if it's not positive, all you have to do is smile. What will be even better? Why? Scientifically, because it releases endorphins, dopamine and serotonin. Okay, these are happy hormones, and probably another issue I will go into this because chemistry is something that's so beautiful. We are all made up of bonds, right? And if you remember your chemistry session, we can actually create. So while these are happy hormones, we can actually create chemistry that works for us. So smile for no reason. And the one that I love is LOL, literally laugh out loud. A song that I'm always reminded of when I was younger goes, ah ha 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 ah ha 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 ha. And I literally just sing, when I'm down, and I'll go, ah hee 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 hee, and I sing until I get better. So ha ha hee hee ah ho 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 ho. And after a while, really, when you just keep at it, you will realize your emotions change because the ridiculousness of it, right? Me sitting on the toilet bowl singing to myself earlier just took away all the stress. Just like, chill, relax. What's all the expectations about, and it just ebbs away. So remember, smile or laugh out loud, literally to the tune of the song that I just shared with you. The fourth one would be exercise. We all know, right, the health benefits of exercise. So, sunlight, and these are all scientifically proven, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, these all help in secreting just feel good hormones, where I remember I was so stressed that day with the girls. And what I did is I took the bicycle out. Instead, I couldn't stand another minute with them, right? So, we've been in for 10 weeks. I got on the bike and I just cycled out, so whatever exercise suits you, different people have different levels of fitness. So whether it's dancing, you could have a dance party with the girls. You could walk up the stairs. You could jog around your block or just do a brisk walk. The most effective thing is for at least 30 minutes, you make it be active. So as I began to cycle and I felt the cool breeze on my face, I literally just came back a different mom. Like literally, it's as if the wind blew away all the stress. So I invite you to try. So like exercise, right? There's always an inertia. The first time I remember I decided to run a 10 click a run just to set a milestone for myself. Oh, I so couldn't run. I couldn't even last, while I looked fit, right? I couldn't even last 2 minutes on the treadmill. What happened was I committed 135. And in the beginning, there were so many internal voices that told me, oh, you shouldn't go. What's the point of going? I'm so glad I did, because now, after the habit has formed, it's out of sorts for me to miss my exercise, so try and exercise. If you're upset, just go down your block just for a walk. I love a jog because all you need is running shoes. Okay, the next one is, the last one is to connect with a friend. So connecting with a friend gives us literally oxytocin. That's the fourth chemical, actually. So this is all scientifically proven, where, when a mom breastfeeds a baby, that bond, that love, that unconditional emotions, and that surge of positive feeling, that is what gets released when you call a friend to find out how they've been. When was the last time you connected with someone, to just say hi? It could be while you're doing something, just pick up a call to your primary school friend, your secondary school friend, your JC friend, your old ex-colleague. Okay. The next one would be your special half. Date your partner for a walk around the block. When was the last time you actually did that with your partner? Because as you connect emotionally is where you begin to feel good. So earlier today, when my husband walked in the door, I could have chosen to be so focused on my work. But I know that connecting with another human being is what creates this oxytocin. So what I did is I hugged my husband. I just went to him and said, hey, you know what? I need a hug. And the thing about a hug in Rush, Singapore, is we tend to do it in very short spurts, like just a courtesy hug on our way out, or just a hug out of habit. But the trick is at least 6 seconds, because in the beginning it's just okay. But as you slowly hug for more than 6 seconds, you allow your hormones to begin to be released from your body. Okay, so I trust that this 5 has been most useful for you. And I would love to hear which of the 5 was your favorite. Was it acknowledging, hi Atu, hey, hi, it's great for you to join me. Was it acknowledging? We're reaching the end, and thank you so much. Which of the 5 was your favorite? Was it acknowledging, the 3 steps? I'm feeling stressed. It's okay to feel stressed. And because I'm feeling stressed, I'm going to eat a slice of cake. Or because I'm feeling stressed, I'm going to dance and shake it off until I feel better. So that's acknowledged. The second one, the magic of 316, is really to breathe. 3 counts in, hold it there for 1,000, and then breathe out slowly in 6 counts, and that will put you to sleep if you have trouble sleeping too. And because that lowers our heartbeat. The third one will be as we change our physiological. So sometimes emotionally we're down, but just down, just don't know why we're down. Smile. The longer you smile, the longer you laugh. For no particular reason, right? Notice how it uplifts your spirit. And if you multiply that or increase the duration, even better. The fourth would be to exercise. So if you're someone who hasn't been exercising because of this circuit breaker, or you've been exercising at home as we watch, all the YouTube, that's great. Keep it up as a habit, because sunlight gives us vitamin D, and exercise actually releases endorphins, which are the happy hormones. And after a good run, we hear of runner's high, or that emotion of euphoria. It's natural. It's our body just telling us, keep it up. This is what we like. This is what makes us happy. Okay, so the next time you're stressed, just go out for a run, or walk up and down the stairs. And finally, connect with a friend. When was the last, if you're down, just pick up the phone, connect with a friend, send a friend an email. When was the last time you connected with someone that you haven't for a long time? And it could be with your partner, or even earlier today, when I understand oxytocin. So this is another chemical, one of the 4 that makes us feel good. When my daughter, I was doing my work on the couch, and then my daughter came and she sat next to me. So if I wasn't present to this, I might have gotten a bit irritated and pushed her a bit, because she was leaning on my right arm and I needed that to type. But I got present to oxytocin, which is the bonding, which is the chemical that comes out of bonding with our family members. So I just turned to her, I smiled, I put my arm around her, and as I kissed her, suddenly I felt even better. All the slight irritation that I had when she just jumped onto the couch completely was gone. And I know that it was not just created for me. In that moment, it was created for her as well, because she turned and she was like, Mama. And that was a special bond, a special moment that we shared. I continued to do my work and she continued to read next to me. So whether you're happy or whether you're stressed, it's really your choice. And I want to leave us with this, okay? Hi, Paisley. Hi, Stefan. Welcome. Thank you for joining so much. So I want to leave us with this, to always remember to be patient with yourself. You know, we live in a world that is so judgmental, so critical, that we often are our own worst critics. So for today, just be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. So thank you. And if this was helpful to you, I invite you to share this link or this video with another parent or groups, so that more parents can join us next week. And what would be even better is if you can just comment, you know, what are certain topics you would love to hear next Tuesday. So thank you. You have a blessed evening with your family. Do something that makes you smile today. Okay. See you. Okay, that's for next week. I'm gonna stop sharing.